we're going to be looking at application of our linear fingers. So all these situations you're going to be given today are going to be lines, okay? They're all lines. It's your job to figure out what kind of information we have and what kind of equation we could get it into, and then what can we do with that equation. So, like, memorization is going to be bad news here. But before we even get into a line, I'm just going to write on here, don't write this. Let's review the equations that are going to be options today. So who can help me out? What's one type of linear equation? Braden? Yeah, Braden.
Sorry, slope-intercept.
Slope-intercept form, right? Probably the most common one we see. And that one's really nice when we know how something's changing and we know where it starts, right? It's also a nice place to end up from a different form. What form do we really commonly change to slope-intercept form, like pretty much every time? What form changes? I mean, all the forms change in a slope-intercept form, but there's one like every time. Jack?
Standard form?
We do standard form sometimes, but standard form is also good for intercepts, right? When we have two things going on for a total?
Point slope?
Yeah, point slope. We almost always change to slope-intercept. And point slope's really good when we know how something's changing, or we can figure out how something's changing, and we know one point that isn't the y-intercept. If we know the y-intercept as our point, we'd be looking there. So we're looking for situations to fit in one of these three categories, really. And they're all going to lend themselves to one better than another. So let's see how that shakes out when we start looking at some situations. So Kate's buying all this bird seed, all right? $23.40 worth. She gets the thistle kind for $1.60 because thistle must be fancy, and 95 cents per pound for the wild stuff. Okay, when she wants to be wild. I'm looking for a volunteer just by a raise of hand on Zoom here. Who can tell me what type of information I have here? Like what are pieces of a line I have here? Or maybe they're not pieces of which equation? Which equation would this fit in? And, you can think back to our experiences, right? We had StockX. We had the nachos. We had, I don't know, I can't remember all the other ones. But all those little experiential things. What kind of information, what kind of equation does this lend itself to? Sam?
Point-intercept form?
So what's...
Slope-intercept form.
Slope-intercept. Okay, so what's the slope then?
The bird sells for $1.60 per pound.
So I like per usually is slope, right? But check this out, dude. There's also a 95 cents per pound. So there's not two slopes. What we got going on here, you think? You want to pivot there, Sam?
Is it point slope form?
Okay, so the question I'm going to ask you is, if we can use point slope form, we would need a slope. Do we have a slope here?
No.
Okay, so what's the only form that doesn't have a slope in it?
Standard.
Standard, so check this out, man. $1.60 a pound plus 95 cents a pound gives us a total of $23.40. Y'all seeing that? So this is the classic StockX problem from class when I had to get those shoes and I had to get those hoodies, right? So this, on your Go Formative tonight, each problem's going to have two blue dots. Blue dot 1 would be write the equation that matches the situation. This equation matches our situation, and it's also nice to be able to go back and summarize our situation from our equation. $1.60 per thistle plus 95 cents per wild gives us a total of $23.40. You see how I just said the whole situation pretty much again, right? That's a good check. Now, the second part of each one of these equations is you're going to have to apply or interpret. So this is saying 12 pounds of wild were purchased. Well, $1.60 a pound for 12 pounds plus 95 cents per pound for unknown pounds of the wild, total $23.40, right? So I'm just putting in the information I know into my equation.
She bought 12 pounds of wild bird seed, not thistle.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's get wild, okay? We don't know about how much thistle. Wild, thank you, is 12 pounds for a total of 23.40. All right, there we go. Now we're ready to cook. So 95 cents for 12 pounds is $11.40 of that wild stuff. If I take that away from the total, that leaves me with how much is spent on the thistle. $12 on the thistle means the total number of pounds of the thistle birdseed would be 7.5 pounds. And so on the Go formative for tonight, it'll want units and how much there for the second answer, right? So there's going to be two parts. What's the equation that matches the situation? And then what is the interpretation of your equation to find something out, right? Cool. So we had a standard form for number 17. Number 18, let's read through it. I'm going to highlight the important information. Anybody else think of a meme when they read number 15? My name is... You guys know that one? Nate does. I see that, Nate. My name is Jeff. Like something like that. I've heard that before. Okay. Anyway, Jeff's keeping an eye on his weight, right? Maybe he's working out. Maybe he's not eating that sugar. But what we know is after 2 weeks, he's at 194. After 6 weeks, he's at 186. Okay, and then later I want to know what's up at 12 weeks, okay? Ezra, these highlighted things, what kind of information would that be in terms of a line, do you think?
Wouldn't that be the, wait, I didn't read it.
So 2 weeks, 194 pounds, 6 weeks, 186 pounds. What would those...
Would that be the slope?
Well, I could get the slope from it, right? But
yeah, well, wouldn't it be the, so, wouldn't it be the, y-intercept?
So the y-intercept would be 0 weeks. Am I given 0 weeks here?
No. So it would be, so after, x-intercept?
Well, not... The x-intercept would be like when he weighed 0 pounds, which actually wouldn't make any sense in this situation. But do you see... There's like two pieces of information and two pieces of information. In terms of a line, when we have the two things explaining a spot, what do we call that?
Oh, there's a point.
Those are both points, right? You seeing that, Ezra? Is that popping for you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so 2 weeks, 194 would be 1 point, and 6 weeks, 186 would be a point. And we can see from the points over time what's happening to his weight. Use a thumb. What's his weight doing? Going down and yelling timber, baby. So let's see how it's going down. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now we have a slope. This dude's dropping 2 pounds a week, man. Dropping 2 pounds a week. So let's regroup here. I have 2 points. I need to make a linear equation. From 2 points, I found this thing called the slope. It says he's losing 2 pounds a week. With the information I have, who's got an equation I can use? Looking for some hands. Who's got an equation I can use with the information I have? I'm just going to pick someone random if I don't get a hand here. Okay, Braden. Thanks for volunteering, Braden. I see you. Point slope. That's what I got. I got a slope and I got a point. Doesn't matter which point you use. I'm going to choose this one just because it has a 2 in it. So point slope form means I can do y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And I can get point slope then to look like slope intercept. I'm going to distribute and solve for my y value. And I have 2x plus 4. Add 194 to both sides. And y is negative 2x plus 198. This would be my equation I would put in. This is the linear equation. What this linear equation reads as, it's the same situation, it just gives us a little different information. It says, hey, this guy's total weight is equal to the 2 pounds he loses per week plus the 198 pounds he started at. Right? This dude started at about 198. All right? But I'm going to go back here. The question it's asking us to interpret with our situation is, how much does this guy weigh after 12 weeks? Well, his total would equal negative 2 pounds a week for 12 weeks plus the 198 he started with. So negative 24 and 198 is 174. So he would weigh 174 pounds after 12 weeks. Big picture is, what information do I have? How do I get that information into the equation? And then how do I use that equation to solve my answer? You guys seeing, like, there's a lot going on here. If we try to memorize something, it's not going to go well, right? Don't memorize. Anyway, this landscape company charges $35 to deliver mulch, and then it's $29 per cubic yard. That's 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot. That's how they sell mulch these days, okay? We need to write and solve a linear equation. So let's just start with equation. I'm looking at Owen. Owen, can you tell me what information I have given to me in terms of a line here? The $35 to deliver and the $29 per cubic yard? What do you think? I want to know what these things I highlighted are in terms of a line. What are they? What information am I given?
You're getting $35 to deliver.
So what would that be in terms of a line?
What do you mean?
Like the $35 in terms of a line. What is that $35 in a line?
Like an X or Y? What do you mean?
Well, X, Y in our lines are like all the points on our line, right? This $35 is specific. It's a $35 fee to deliver. In terms of our situation, our line, what would that be? Because we got two things that contribute to price. $35 to deliver and $29 per cubic yard.
Well, 29 to 35? I don't really know. Sorry.
Now, I'm just asking what the 35 would. It's part of a line. What part of a line would be that initial fee of $35?
I don't know.
Okay, anybody else like to take a shot? Let's see, looking for hands. All right, Leah, what would that 35 be in terms of a line?
Is it the y-intercept?
Yeah, it's our starting point, right? If you bought 0 yards of mulch and that dude just drove over, or the woman just drove over, we would be spending $35. That's the y-intercept, the initial fee, right? Okay. And then, Leah, what is the $29 per cubic yard?
Isn't that the slope?
Yeah, that's how it's changing over and over, right? 1 yard costs this much, 2 yards this much. That's our rate of change is another thing we could say. So I'm coming back to you, Owen. Coming back to you. Where'd Owen go? There's Owen.
Hi.
So, Owen, I've got a slope and a y-intercept. Any ideas what equation I might want to try?
What do you do? Point slope?
Okay, let me tell you the two things I have again. I have a slope and an intercept. A y-intercept.
So, what do you do? Y-intercept form, right?
Slope-intercept form?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do because I have a slope and the y-intercept. All right, so y equals mx plus b. Here's our equation. It tells the story. The total to get mulch is $29 per cubic yard plus the $35 initial fee. All right, I always like to summarize my situation with my equation when I'm done. Okay, now the question we have to ask, how much do 6 cubic yards cost? Well, the total is equal to $29 times the 6 yards plus the $35 fee. I'm going to do this in my head. I'm going to do 30 times 6, which is 180. I'm going to take the 6 extra I took away, 174. Plus 35, 174, and 30 is 204 plus 5, 209. Seems like a pretty good deal for some mulch. I don't know. I'd buy that maybe. I don't know. One time I got some mulch from the city because it's free, and I'm pretty sure it had some poison ivy in it. My kids got all kinds of rashes. Don't do that maybe. If you're going to, not for the playground, maybe do it somewhere else. All right. Everybody good there? All right. Last one, number 20. I'm going to have, let's go with, Jack. Jack B, volunteering. Jack, you going to help me out with this one? Or do you have a question, or both?
No, I thought that I might know it.
Okay, so let's look through this thing. She got this money, man. She got that dough. $25 per month. We don't know how much her check was, but now, after 9 months, she has $300. So I want you to tell me, Jack, what information does she have? What do we have?
Oh, we have that after 9. Okay, so she plans to save $25 per month.
Yeah, what is that in the line? 25 per month.
Is that like
25 is a point, just straight up 25?
No.
This is usually a good
Is it
indicator. That per right there is usually a good indicator of something. What are you thinking that 25 is? Oh, did we lose him?
Is that the X?
Well, there is no X. There's X and Y ordered pairs for every point on the line forever, right? I don't know what you mean by it's the X. There's infinite X's on this line. Oliver, what you thinking?
Is it the slope?
Oh, he snuck it in there. It is the slope. 25 per month. That's how it's changing every month. Month to month to month to month. Oliver, what's that other information? 9 months is $300. What is that in terms of a line?
Oh, that's the point?
That's a point, right? Independent and dependent variables there, okay? Now, Nolan, I have a point and a slope. What equation do you think I might want to try using?
Y minus y equals m, and then
Yeah, point slope form, right? I got a point and a slope. Let's use point slope form. So y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. And what this is saying is, I'm saving $25 per month, and at 9 months I have $300. I'm going to get this in the slope-intercept form, though. I'm going to solve for y. 25x minus 1, 225. Yep. Add $300 to both sides. And I get y equals 25x plus 75. That would be my linear equation for this one, right? And the question I need to answer is, what's the original check for? What do you think, Sabine? How much was in that? How much cash money did she get for her birthday?
What was the question?
The question is, how much was her initial check for?
75.
Yeah, so you could just slap a 0 in here for the number of months, right? But you don't need to. The y-intercept, we know she started with $75. That's pretty good check, man. I never got a birthday check like that growing up, man. I got like $1 per year from my grandma. It's pretty good. So, big picture, when you go after these, pull out the information. You got to identify, am I given points? Am I given a slope? Am I given a y-intercept? Right? What information do I have? Then take a step back and say, how do I get that information into a line, right? If you're given no slope at all, and you're just given two things happening, that's standard form. If you're given a slope and a y-intercept, that's slope-intercept form. If you're given 2 points, the only thing you can do with 2 points is get a slope and then have point-slope form, right? Like they lend themselves there once you pull the information out and identify what your information is.